What it left behind looks even better. Good.
You're alive.
Get started. You want to fire away?
Yep.
Fire away.
So I just want to give you just a quick update on Summerfest. We're about a month away. I have given Rosemary the expenses that we have up to this point. I emailed it to her today, but I just wanted everybody, I gave them a card of the events that we have planned. We're gonna have a tie-dye party at the Dairy Den. We'll bring shirts and hats and tie-dye them on the first day. And we're gonna have a painted rock event with the robotics team helping the kids and then encouraging the kids to hide the rocks around town so people can find them during the event. And then also on Thursday night, we have a band out of Grand Rapids, Deerfield. Run band that is related to Gene Austin, and they came last year, and it was very, very nice evening. So I'm looking forward to that. And then walk the park, trying to encourage people to walk around the park, the lap and that sort of thing during the concert or during the day, that particular day. So, and then Friday night, I have more of a thought of a Langsburg type event. It's right before pancake breakfast. So we have a band that is a Langsburg band and Sudden Impact Band, which is John Wooden. We have a talent show that will go on in the upper pavilion right before the band to kind of get people into the park a little quicker on Friday night. And then after the band, the LBCA has the Silent Disco Glow Party. So that will be a nice evening of fun for anybody that wants to come, obviously. And then Saturday, we have a lot of the events that have been prior that help bring the people in. The pancake breakfast, it's been 50 some years. The Looking Glass car show and the Mike Morey car show. But around there, we're packing a juggler out of Detroit that has comedy in the amphitheater. And then right after that performance, Jen West is going to have a little dance performance for their girls. And we also are going to have, which I'm excited about, a volleyball tournament show. We're actually going to see some people playing volleyball in the park, which is nice. So, and then the library's got some face painting and book sale going on. So it'll be a nice Saturday with lots of stuff going on. And then Sunday, I'm excited. We did get the Langsburg Community Singers, and we have a warm-up band with us, Scott Wilford and friends. And Inform Wellness is doing fitness in the park with some sort of yoga and Pilates type stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I just wanted to kind of give you an update. I got my expenses over to Rosemary, so hopefully between now and then we'll work that out. And that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, great.
thank you.
She wanted to make the bill. I'm assuming.
Olivia? Oh, yeah, she's gonna do your, she's here for the duration.
So we're not gonna have her speak quite
She
yet.
might talk the whole time, I don't know.
Okay.
Pretty talkative, that girl.
Minutes. Get a chance to look at the minutes, everybody,
Wasn't the last one, you said it's pushed to training the next week, I think that will say next year. This will be next month, or.
Yeah.
I tried, Dave.
You tried.
That was the only correction I had, and then also.
I'll fix them.
small imperfections. A motion and a second.
I move that we approve the minutes
Second.
No second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Rosemary is not present. You use
You did give us the treasurer's report though, so all your stuff is in there. You have any questions you can send for her? The budget got approved. Looks like you put that in there. There's one right here too. The one from Jan.
don't see anything really.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second. And a second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Let's do this. One by Grand River. Is that?
No,
No?
actually, Olivia, you wanna explain to them what we're asking them for the 105? For Jen's project?
Oh, sure. Jen West, right?
Yep.
Yeah, is wanting to move her studio from a building at the top of the hill to the old Klotz building. And she's currently applying for a RAP grant, so it's through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, MEDC. And it's a huge grant. I think it's $500,000, 50-50. So she'll put in 500K and then they'll give her 500K to completely redo the space. So I think that her plan was to renovate the upper level of the building to dance floor that's the size of the stage that they perform on, and then 2 dance areas at the bottom level with an office and a waiting area and stuff.
That's the dance studio.
Yes. Yep. She's kind of outgrowing her space. She's actually like, her classes are growing and she's really outgrowing that space and, she went and looked at the Clocks building and was interested in it, and this grant is available, so we're gonna give it a shot. So we are just looking for, a letter from the DVA for support, and of course, Olivia already wrote the letter and Mark just needs to sign it. But, you know, we're just looking for, you know, I mean, first of all, I think the DDA should be aware of the project, and second of all, you know, it's just like, if you guys support it or not.
I don't see any reason why we, yeah, definitely.
Olivia, would you mind letting us know who you are again?
Yeah, I'm Olivia Graham and I just started working in City Hall just over a month ago, and I'm a fellow, a community development fellow through CEDAM, so.
She was our
community-
grant.
Oh,
I
you're
forgot,
our,
yeah.
you're Sedum's fellow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Got it.
She's doing great. She's doing good things. So,
great.
and the grant does cover acquisition. It also covers like infrastructure things, like, and I was wondering, as far as the DDA goes, that section of sidewalk down there, if that needs to be replaced, if that could be included in the grant, and then the DDA would pay for 50% of the cost or something, and you know, that would be cheaper than us redoing it at zero. So I don't know, but the grant is due this Friday, so we had a pretty quick trigger on it. I originally asked her about it. She didn't think she wanted to do it. And the next thing you know, she did. So we're scrambling around trying to get it turned.
Is that our front lot?
Yes,
So it would be all of the whole building, I'm assuming, then you're saying.
yes, Yep.
So she'll purchase the whole thing.
correct. She would like to purchase the building and renovate the inside for a dance studio. The entire
And
building,
then move from here to there.
Yep.
She wouldn't have them both.
correct.
She would move down there.
If she gets the loan, if she gets the grant, if.
How long before she would know? Like, if you have to get this grant in this soon,
It's the fall.
so it's less than 6 months,
Oh, yeah, I think in September we would know
so maybe 3 or 4 months.
if she was awarded or not.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's actually a pretty quick turnaround. But the minimum ask, you can't ask for anything less than 500,000. And so at first we weren't even sure we would get there, but it actually adds up pretty quick when you're buying a building and renovating it for a dance studio. So,
As long as she's written a letter, I'll sign it. And I'm assuming everyone will support it, correct? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So Schaefer's beside completion. There was something that I thought of that. Not just because of his, but because of any of them. Do we have anything in there to specify that the property couldn't be turned or gained for a certain amount of time?
I would have to reread it, but I don't know that for sure.
I'm pretty sure we don't.
No.
Similar to, let's say, like capital gains on a piece of property that you buy. You have to pay capital gains on it if you don't live in it more than 2 years.
Right,
And then if you live in it 2 years, you
right.
want to pay it. I would think that we should have something in, not just on a residential,
Right.
but on
On
commercial
as
also.
well.
So that if someone was trying to flip property for profit, I would almost think that we should watch out for that. Because one, they had paid taxes probably if they flip it in a quick amount of time. So their investment is really, let's say, minimal. And then they get the taxpayer, whoever was maybe their previous, to pay, or whoever is living in the community to pay. But it is maybe getting the property back up and running too.
Right,
So
I was gonna
there's,
say, either
it's-
way, it does increase your value,
correct,
but,
couple ways to look at it.
but there are some grants that are written that way that, you know, they say you can't sell it within 5 years or, you know, something like that. I mean,
Right, so that at least the person isn't just turning the property for their own gain and really not, maybe just using their own money to do that instead of using our money, meaning the taxpayers' money here to do that same thing. Think about it. And maybe we'll reread and see if we could put that in some way, shape or form.
I think that's really prudent.
It was just weird. I just had thought about it. Because a lot of that stuff is going on. So just to think about, it looks good. I mean, what he's doing considerably better than what was there.
I can see it.
Yeah,
You know, we wouldn't want the lights to go above, you know, something happened 18 months down the road, if all of a sudden the lights turn off and
right.
because of
Yeah, that too.
life events. you
Right.
know, Whatever things.
Whatever
Things happen.
whatever it may be. But we can, and I'll work that out with
yeah, it's
Rosemary.
getting pretty vacant and pretty dilapidated. That one.
Yeah. We also have a bill from Boyd for landscaping, but we'll take care of that. Do you have something you want to do before? You want to get right after this?
Now you're up.
I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Totally in charge.
So we're gonna talk about your extension. So
Oh,
you want to
okay.
talk about your time? Do you have that with you? Here. This, what you did here to change up the schedule, so they'll know that we're training. Just tell them what you expect of them, Olivia.
Yeah. After the last meeting that we had, when we didn't end up doing any of the training, I was asked to look into it and see how much of it left we had, and I noticed that it was going to like the account was gonna expire, I think like that Friday or something. So we reached out to the head of the Main Street program and she gave us an extension till the end of August. Thus. The 3, I guess, months of training that hopefully we can get through, because there was still quite a bit left. Yeah, so we can get it done before the end of the new end date.
In other words, you kind of really need to stick to
Yeah.
this and get this done, so we can get this
We've
training.
just done the one,
Right, and we didn't finish it.
that one,
Right,
Just-
we weren't quite done yet.
okay.
So we got a partial one done, but we want to get this done so we can get our application in to be a Main Street. We have to get this done first. Right?
Yeah, so after you do this, I'm working on a communication and fund development plan that I'm sure that we'll go over with everyone to make sure that everyone's happy with it. And then that's when we would be like the engaged level in the Michigan Main Street, which is just the first step of actually becoming certified. There's 3 different levels, so this is just the first level.
You know how many communities are certified in Michigan?
But
There's a map.
There aren't very
I
many.
wouldn't say, I wouldn't,
I.
it's not,
20.
I would say it's not 40, you know?
In our region, there's 2, Owasso and Lapeer,
That are certified.
that are, yeah.
20 to 30, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's not a lot. It used to be more. It actually lost a lot of communities over the past decade.
I think that, what, a lot of things that they have resources for are things that we're trying to work on. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt us any to give it a try and see if we get some programming out of it, some funding. We get those houses built, our downtown might even grow more, and we're gonna be looking for resources to help us, so.
Where's the Carmen? Well,
Rams.
Just kidding. Duran. So what you're saying?
Duran. Okay.
I'm sure we have places to put that car.
They can hang out at the park.
Yep. So you guys didn't want to make a motion on the Schaefer or the.
We don't need to, do we? On the bench.
You guys have been on these, but
Okay, we can-
you guys are good to pay it.
To
then,
pay it.
As long as Rosemary's gonna pay it based on. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Over.
all we have left is training then, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Do we get logging on this computer?
yeah, I think Cassie had it all set up
Oh.
for you.
We need to move.
Yes, shuffle around, find yourself a comfy spot.
I don't have a big screen.
What do we have to do this for then? Oh, I didn't know.
Right where
Well, it's gonna come up here, isn't it?
you move that right
Oh,
here.
Oh.
Olivia's like, I'm in charge, what do you mean?
Just find the on button.
Movie time.
That was funny. wasn't it? No, it's really awesome.
Here's your letter, Mark. Jeff, we did one for you too, for the project.
Okay,
They need one from city, so.
perfect.
You might have to actually move the chair or something like here. It depends, you gotta move it around, sometimes you just move the chair halfway here. Well, so you don't have to worry about blinding her.
So are you?
But you can blind the mayor.
Yeah.
Are you a fellow only for Langsberg or for other places?
Just for Langsberg.
And how long do we have you for?
Until August of 2024, so my term is like 15 months.
Okay. You were very.
We're happy.
Oh, right. You're gonna want to be closer.
Are you gonna be the reader or are you reading?
I'm gonna let Olivia be the reader.
Okay.
You guys made her do it last time.
I know.
You may have to try to remember.
Turns reading, Olivia.
Teach us, Olivia.
Right, so, cause if you put the top one, it should know where you left off.
Oh, I think this is just where we left off. It must be this slide. Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Oh, I can.
Okay. You want me to read all of the text on the screen?
For over 40 years, the National Main Street Center has been guiding the work of more than 45 states, city, or county-wide coordinating programs through providing technical assistance and helping to revitalize older and historic commercial districts within the Main Street America network.
What is the Main Street movement? It grew out of the recognition that downtowns are the heart of our communities, and a community is only as strong as its core. When suburbanization, shopping malls, and big box retailers threaten the vibrancy and viability of downtowns and neighborhood commercial districts, the Main Street movement paved the way for the renaissance of healthy, vibrant downtowns and commercial districts through the nation. What is the Main Street America network? The network is made up of small towns, mid-sized communities, and urban commercial districts, representing the broad diversity that makes this country so unique.
Main streets are the heart of our communities. They're our nation's gathering places, places of shared memory, celebration, and economic activity. They represent the core American principles of ingenuity, inclusion, and creativity. Yet over the years, main streets have faced many challenges, from suburbanization to the deterioration of historic buildings to the changing face of retail. While these challenges are formidable, today's main streets are resilient through hard work, planning, commitment, and action by local volunteers and leaders. Main streets across America are thriving.
Main Street stands for a revitalized America.
Downtown is important because it's the heart and soul of any community. If you don't have a healthy downtown, you simply don't have a healthy town.
Everybody knows what it's like in the public square. It's actually working and thriving. People are buying goods, they're walking back and forth. We all know what it's like to be in a community like that on a Saturday, sun is shining, and just feel great about being in a main street.
Main Street America is a nationwide movement with a proven track record of revitalizing older and historic downtowns and neighborhood commercial districts. The Main Street America network brings together thousands of passionate local leaders who contribute their time, energy, and ideas to building more vibrant and sustainable communities.
Entrepreneurs have been the backbone of the American economy for 240 years. And I know that whether it's in the furthest rural corner of the country to a commercial district right in the heart of Chicago, there are men and women with desires to open their own business. What Main Street does is it helps to create the environment in which those businesses are a little bit easier to get up off the ground, and those businesses are more likely to succeed.
Main streets are once again the incubators of small business and the launching pad of entrepreneurs. Great ideas are nurtured in communities that appreciate the value of local. The Main Street America network knows how to encourage these pioneering businesses and how to create the environment to help them prosper.
This is a time-tested, comprehensive, market-based, and community-led approach, which has been employed in over 2,000 communities for the last 40 years.
If you want to see America grow, if you really want to see America grow, look at Main Street. being a part of a network like this, you get to share best practices across all kinds of markets. There may be plenty of areas that are different than yours, but somewhere out there, there's a market that's very, very similar. If you can study what they've done, then you can learn about it.
Successful economic development today is not about what you don't have, it's about what you do have. And one of the things that Main Street has done is made people aware of what the value of downtown historic buildings and how a small incremental approach to redevelopment can be the best approach. Too many communities for years thought economic development was all about the one big thing, but successful economic development is much more frequently about lots of small things working synergistically together off of a plan that makes sense. And so Main Street at its core is about creating a plan for the future.
Today, people are seeking out communities with character and places where they feel connected. Main Street America downtowns and districts are places to raise families, start new businesses, build community, and forge the future.
The Michigan Main Street Program and redevelopment ready communities are the community development programs providing technical assistance at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Community development managers provide personalized support and guidance to communities about our programs and incentives. The Michigan Main Street Program exists to help communities develop Main Street districts that attract both residents and businesses, promote private commercial investment, spur economic growth. Michigan Main Street became a coordinating program of the National Main Street Center in 2003. In partnership with the National Main Street Center, we provide tailored technical assistance to Main Street communities. Examples: strategic planning, communication plan, branding, business recruitment, market data analysis, board development and training, retail merchandising, small business support. Since 2003, Michigan Main Street has helped support strong economic impacts with select and master level communities throughout the state. The local impacts of participating Main Street communities are found in their individual impact reports.
We see a lot of positive forces influencing downtowns, driving reinvestment downtown. Main streets are often communities' single biggest competitive advantage.
There's a new study done by Cushman Wakefield. 500 major American companies that have moved from suburban locations back into downtowns. I think it's important to note why big business is moving back into downtowns. And number one at the top of the list is to attract and retain talented workers.
Millennials are very, very much interested in being in the downtown milieu. And we need to make that happen because that is where all of the things that drive the American economy are going to happen.
Since joining the Michigan Main Street Program, Old Town Lansing has seen almost 16 million in private investment, over 56,000 volunteer hours, and over 100 new businesses and facade and building improvements. Old Town Lansing is a Great American Main Street Award winner. For more information, Commercial National Register Historic District. Network of active volunteers supporting robust community and special events. 90% vacancy in 2009 to 1 to 2% in 2023. Highest concentration of creative service businesses in Michigan. Howell. Since joining the Michigan Main Street Program, Howell has seen $26 million in private investment, 58,000 volunteer hours, over 180 new businesses, and over 340 facade and building improvements. $26 million in private investment, contributing to rehabilitated buildings and storefronts downtown. 2% storefront vacancy, 80% of upper story units have market rate apartments. Recognized in 2016 as a top 10 Main Street in the country and winner of the 2018 Great American Main Street Award. Since joining the program, Boyne City has seen $29 million in private investment, over 110 new businesses and 70 facade and building improvements downtown. Boyne City is also a Great American Main Street Award winner. 29 million in private investment. Local facade grant program contributing to rehabilitated storefronts. 58,000 volunteer hours logged. Value of Main Street. How does the Main Street program facilitate successful revitalization? Provides a framework and proven methodology for sustainable revitalization, engages the community in the future of downtown, allows communities to proactively manage the market rather than react to external forces, provides access to state support, tailored technical assistance and outside experts, provides access to a national network of communities and resources.
Main Street revitalization is tough work, and the great thing about the Main Street American Network is communities don't have to go it alone.
Main Street basically helps people create a vision for the future.
That's what Main Street really had to offer, is that continuous, that incremental success in the gathering of people continuously.
This is a time-tested, comprehensive, market-based and community-led approach, which has been employed in over 2,000 communities over the last 40 years.
Being a part of a network like this, you get to share best practices across all kinds of parties. Very often, people will not only share their best practices with you, they will come to your community and help you implement. Main Streeters like to help other Main Streeters, and so the network is extremely important.
Main Street approach and model for revitalization.
Framework, the 4-point approach is extraordinarily important because it provides people with a path that they can adapt to their particular needs. They have the really comfort of knowing that this has worked for many, many other communities. The 4-point approach includes design, which is a focus on putting into active use older and historic buildings that make up many of our downtowns, neighborhood commercial districts. We focus on organization, which is creating strong and healthy organizations with a sustainable funding stream to support downtown revitalization efforts. Promotions, which are really all about marketing the downtown, making sure the community, making sure those outside the community know about all the great things that are downtown. And finally, economic vitality, which is really about making sure that there's a strong mix of businesses, cultural institutions, and housing that support that overall vision for downtown.
Main Street economic development. Traditional economic development, staff-driven, municipal ownership driven by transactions, chase jobs, focus on what you do not have, quality of life, unimportant, one-way communication. 21st century economic development, community-driven, community ownership driven by overall vision, grow jobs and targeted business recruitment strategy, celebrate cultural assets, focus on what you do have, quality of life critical, finance through public/private partnership, two-way communication. Guiding principles, comprehensive. All the factors that affect a downtown's health are tightly interrelated. Consequently, its revitalization strategies must address challenges and opportunities comprehensively with simultaneous activity in each of the 4 points. Incremental. Successful, sustained revitalization begins with a series of small actions that, taken together, can lead to catalytic change. As public confidence in the district grows and the revitalization initiatives partnership hone their skills, the initiative is gradually able to tackle more complicated challenges. Self-help. While there are some government and nonprofit resources that can support certain revitalization activities, no outside entity can or will revitalize your community's commercial district. Only local leadership from both the public and private sectors can save Main Street. Strong local leadership not only builds community confidence in the district, its revitalization, but it also helps attract outside interest, helping assure outside funders and assistant providers that their potential investments of time and money will be well spent. Partnerships. Either the public or private sector can single-handedly revitalize a commercial district. Both sectors have substantial investments in the district, both have vested interest in the district's long-term success, and both have specific skills and resources needed for its revitalization. Partnerships must also be inclusive, engaging the entire community and envisioning the district's future and benefiting from its success. Capitalize on existing assets. Every Main Street district has assets on which it can begin building its revitalization initiative. Many Main Streets have distinct historic buildings that create a strong visual identity for the district. For example, and many have at least a handful of successful businesses that can serve as springboards for adding new products, services, businesses, and activities to the district. Other assets may include concentrations of district workers or residents, proximity to a major attraction, access to a major highway, the availability of certain types of buildings, the presence of college or university, or strong entrepreneurial traditions. And every Main Street district's history is rooted to that of its community, offering a rich narrative for the district's continued evolution. Quality. Historically, Main Streets were built with high quality materials and design reflecting community pride. The district's revitalization initiative should emphasize high quality in all aspects of its work in building, rehabilitation, new construction, urban design, marketing activities, storefront window displays, and in-store displays, public signs, public amenities, and much more. Poor quality reinforces negative public image of the district. High quality does not mean high price. It involves careful planning and